Hey guys, I said I would post this video about the speech that I did for my speech class. We had to do persuasive speeches, and I chose to do mine on, the stereotype that rock and metal music is evil or satanic, as extremists like to call it. So I said I would post a video of it, and I have my notes, and my slideshow, which I don't know how to, show you guys. So this is what I did. So I basically just asked, who listens to music, and then who listens to rock or metal, and then even if you don't listen to it, who listens or who knows the stereotypes associated with rock and metal music. So some of the stereotypes of the actual rock stars, rock performers themselves, or they're alcoholics, they're into drugs, they're in it just for the fame and money. They can be really mean, violent womanizers, stuff like that. And then I asked on Tumblr, and I asked, if you're not a fan of rock metal, what is your perception of it? And some of the more extreme answers I got were stuff like, it's nothing but screaming and yelling, and anyone that likes rock is emo, it's all meaningless lyrics for depressed gothic people, and rock is all against God and the church, and they always dress dark and gothic and blah. So those are, the stereotypes that are associated with rock and metal music. And they're definitely not true. I mean, personally, yeah, I dress darker and stuff, but it's not necessarily because I'm depressed or emo. First of all, emo isn't a type of person, it's a type of music. Get your facts right. Okay, I'm sorry, that pisses me off. So then I went into the cause, why people think that, and I said it's because of stuff like societal normality, and basically, society is saying, this is what's normal. If you don't fit in this box, then you're wrong, pretty much. So, and this is instilled in people from a young age, so they grow up thinking this, and, as they get older, that develops more and more, and, sorry, ignorant people. And so I ended up quoting Chris Cerulli of the lead singer of Motionless in White, saying, if you look different, people will look down at you, and that's true. But just because somebody looks different doesn't mean that they are, or that they're wrong. It just means they have a different way of expressing themselves, by the way they dress, the makeup they wear, piercings, tattoos, etc. I also went on to quote Gerard Way, lead singer of My Chemical Romance, and he said, that's the idea. That's what it's all about, to do something radically different. So I also wanted to say that the church is a big part of these allegations against metal music, mainly Christianity. Now, I'm Catholic myself, and I have a problem with the church hating on rock and metal music because it's such a big part of my life. And I really wish they could see this music how I see it. So one website even went so far as to say rock violates God's command to give no place to the devil, and that, when children go against their parents by listening to rock music, they're dishonoring the fifth commandment, honor thy father and mother. But they haven't taken into account that some parents don't mind their children listening to rock music. So there's that. And then I had this little clip of the opening to the music video Immaculate Misconception by Motionless in White. Just the whole beginning, where the band's walking down the street and all these extreme radical Christians have these signs like, God hates you, you're going to hell, and all that stuff, and the guy spits in Chris' face, etc. So I had that. And then I quoted Chris saying people are generally afraid of things that aren't what they have been told are normal, or in some cases what their faith tells them isn't correct, and their most natural defense is to lash out in anger, which is really true. I've seen it firsthand. So I went on to say, what could be a solution to fixing this problem? And I quoted Immaculate Misconception saying, open your mind before your mouth. And I quoted Chris again somewhere. Oh, fuck, hold on. And he said, every so often at shows we will encounter the usual hater or religious figure who will approach me, but unfortunately 9 times out of 10 they won't even let me get a word in, because they aren't interested in hearing what I have to say. They only care about trying to shove what they believe down my throat. When it comes to my turn, they want nothing to do with it, which happens a lot. Also, another source that I found that was actually for rock music, even though it was a Christian site, and he said, if it cannot be established from Scripture that certain types of music are inherently immoral, then much of the argument falls apart immediately. Which is true with a lot of these websites I found. They can't really base it in Scripture. They try, but they fail miserably. And then I put up some lyrics to some MCR, Motionless in White, and The Used. So I put up from Motionless in White, all I want is to reach someone, to say something that could change their life forever, to let them know they're not alone. And I've never had the words to say, but I can quote them all. I am human, and I need to be loved just like everybody else. And then from My Chemical Romance, I'm not afraid to keep on living. I'm not afraid to walk this world alone. From Famous Last Words. And from The Used, Together Burning Bright, I think it's going to be alright now. I think it's going to be okay. Just close your eyes, because we are only sparks together burning bright. And then I left them with one final quote. When I put up the lyrics, I'm like, do these lyrics sound satanic and immoral? No. So I left them with this quote by Chris. Believe it or not, I have a tremendous amount of respect for Jesus Christ. Yet despite all these very moral and positive vibes, we are still constantly ripped apart for being who we are, which sounds really similar to what happened to the man these people criticizing us have put their faith in. And then I had a picture of, it says, Jesus is the solid which I stand. Rock on. It's kind of saying, suck it, bitches. So that's what I did my speech on, because it's something that I really believe in. And I got numerous people come up to me after class, after I gave that speech, telling me how much they liked it and how much they noticed that going on too. And so, I had long conversations with multiple people about it, what music means to me and how it's helped me and why I hate these allegations even though I was raised in a Catholic house. So, again, I promised I would post this, and I hope that, maybe this can encourage other people to get out there and stand up for the music that they love, because I definitely will always stand for the music that I love. And yeah, that's it. Rock on.